What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post. Oh, this ain't the Post Podium Podcast. This is Coach D's Corner. I'm so used to doing that. That's true. It's Post Podium Podcast.
It's really a spinoff.
Coach D's Corner edition.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
okay.
I like that.
All right, that'll work. What's going on, Pop? How you feeling?
Babe. I'm great. I'm excited to get to what I think is some fabulous content that we're going to talk about that gives us inside of the mind of these professional athletes. And there was once a notion that professional athletes were like big dumb jocks and they couldn't. But what we're going to see here is that there's a level of intelligence that's connected to playing both sides of the football, especially the position of quarterback.
Yeah. There's a reason they take that Wonderlic score.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They take that into consideration. That plays a big part because that deals with a quarterback's ability to process what he's seeing.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, okay. So we have two plays we're going to get into today, right? Both of them are defensive plays, right? We know what happened offensively. The Jaguars just got destroyed.
Right.
So we want to look at some defensive stuff that kind of speaks to exactly what you're talking about when it comes to what a quarterback is expected to know, process, and do with the ball in his hands.
Well, and not just the quarterback, but also the defensive secondary linebackers when it comes to passing downs or passing situations.
Yeah.
And defensive coordinators, the intricacies that go into how they scheme and how they're doing everything possible to bring confusion to the opponent's quarterback. And there's a reason why they say quarterback is probably the hardest position to play in sports. And we're going to see some of the reasons why having a very creative and exotic defensive coordinator that thinks outside of the box is important when you're facing guys at the NFL level. And what this is going to show us is that we will really learn. It's hard to really appreciate the level of quarterback play that Josh Allen brings to the field until you don't have him or until you see a situation like we've been to point out.
Yeah.
But Bills fans can really appreciate the fact that we have a quarterback that is able to think the game as well as dominate physically. Yeah. So I think that's important for us to say and to recognize.
Yeah, it should be undeniable. By the time we finish this particular film study, it should be undeniable that Josh is the best, if not one of the best, in the NFL, and possibly by the time he's done history of the NFL. So let's take a look at the video. What do we got?
Well, we're looking at a situation where the Jaguars were on the move. They're trying to come out of their side of the field, and it's 3rd and 3. And there is some very intricate and exotic things happening here with the Bills' first and second levels, linebackers and the secondary. And when you come out the formation, you got what we'll call a 3-by-2. I know most people will say 3-by-1 because you got 3 receivers. But the defense guys, they count as running back, so they'll call it 3-by-2, who's away from the strong side. So technically speaking, for the quarterback, he's thinking this is the strong side where you have 3 wide receivers because you only got 2 eligible receivers to the right. You got 3 to the left. So in his mind, he's thinking the Bills are thinking the same thing. He's thinking they're probably going to play the strong side. Now, when you look at the Buffalo Bills, their scheme is centered around really it's a nickel package.
Yeah.
Right? They're playing 4 down linemen. They're playing 5 defensive backs and 2 linebackers. But when you have a player like Teron Johnson, or in this case, Lewis, who's replacing Lewis, right? That's the who's replacing Cam Lewis. Cam has really stepped up and played well. So you got the ability to do a lot of different things with your defense when you play this nickel package. But when you look at the defense now, it looks like a 4-by-4-by-3. What I mean by that is 4 down linemen, 4 what you would call second level players, and then there's 3 third level players.
Now, what does that usually say to a quarterback, that particular formation?
Well, this particular coverage looks like it's going to be a traditional cover 3 look.
Okay.
Right? Because you got the safety in the middle of the field. He got a deep third. Corners on the outside. They have a deep third. Man, I don't want to run it yet. Corners on the outside. They're in the deep third, and then you have what's unique about the Bills' defense is that you really don't know who's the strong side corner or who's going to play what because you got Damar Hamlin here, and you got Lewis here, and it looks, you would assume that they're going to play to the strong side, the three
Right.
receiver side, right?
Right. That's what it looks like.
And I mean, when you're sending as a quarterback, you're saying, okay, I see the safety in the middle, I see the two corner, so it's going to be a third down the middle, and we're going to play, right? So now, but when you roll the tape, look at what happens. Look at the transformation that takes place. They almost gave it away. Look at the trend.
You gotta get
I want
there.
to stop it,
Yeah.
man.
So
Look at what's happened. Look at what's happening here. You got Lewis running back. You got Josh, who's normally, You got DeMar, who's normally a safety,
Yep.
who's normally on the hash. He's now him in the corner has swapped positions.
yeah.
Like that's exotic in the sense of
Yes.
you got a safety now playing corner. You got a corner now playing safety. Kind of interchangeable, but not. You get comfortable on that corner on that sideline.
Yeah.
You get corner playing in the middle of the field as a safety. You got
Cam Lewis. Well, that rap is in the
Taylor,
middle.
you got Taylor Rapp now going from looking like he's finna take off and play a deep third to now playing a robber and taking away the middle of the field. So there's a lot to process.
Yeah.
There's a lot to process. You got the two linebackers here, and it gets to the point where you can tell that the quarterback gets flustered because he's not under any pressure. There's nothing forcing him to run out of the pocket other than it's 3rd and 3, and in his mind, I can run for the first down if I get in trouble. Right?
Have you ever, really quick? Have you ever seen a defensive shift that exotic before, where you have two corners that are transitioning to a safety coverage, and basically you have one safety transitioning to in a cover 2, a traditional linebacker coverage, right in the deep middle. Which is more Tampa 2 style anyway. And then you got DeMar Hamlin just coming up, just playing that soft zone corner.
In a sense, playing out of position.
Right.
Right. So I mean, there's teams that they do it at times, but to see it like happen like this, to have a safety or your nickel, your strong side guy, and Cam Lewis sprint back to the hash, completely turn his back to the quarterback, and then turn around like. You're asking a lot.
Yeah.
But this is the level of dynamic that you have to have when you're playing at this level. And you got a guy at quarterback who I think just got frustrated, flustered, didn't know where to go with the ball. But in the back of his mind, I can run for the first down because it's only 3 yards. Right. But it looks like he has guys open, but I think because of all the shifting and all the different movements, he decided to pull the ball down and try to run for it. Unfortunately, the Bills made the tackle before he got the first down.
And this is only the second drive that they have of the game.
Right.
This is the beginning of the game.
Right.
And
This
he's
is the beginning
already
of the game.
getting these kind of
Flustered
looks.
and frustrated.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, we look at it from the tight copy. It looks as if he can make some throws when he's ready to throw. But again, I think because of the confusion and what's happening, I got a safety coming down. I got the corner playing safety. I got the safety playing corner. Like I got the backers tight, taking away the middle of the field. Like he's got a lot he's trying to process.
Yeah.
And again, there's not a lot of pressure, right? And he just tucks it and tries to run. When it looks like he got a guy, he could have probably fitted in right there.
Right.
But I think what took him off that was you got the safety coming down. The whole idea of bringing this guy down is to rob and take away that middle seam, anything across the middle. So he's thinking about that. He see a little pressure up here at the top. You got to throw it over this guy. So there's a lot he's trying to process. And I think he's just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm trying to run for it.
Right. Try to get those three.
And he pulls the ball down and he tries to get the first down. And fortunately, the Bills backers are close enough to where they're able to make the tackle and force a 4th down punt.
Can we go back to the wide copy of that play really quick? Because I two things I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the wide copy of this play, Junie, if you can take it right back to the actual video. Okay, so now on this particular play, that the bottom corner is Christian Benford,
Correct.
right? Start the play and let it get to right there. Okay, so a little bit before Benford starts to drift off, that is basically the bottom or the end of Trevor Lawrence's drop. Now, in this particular picture, it looks like he's got the tight end over the middle. He's got 7 at the bottom if he wants it. Can you just explain why he chose not to go to those receivers?
Right. So by the time he gets to this point, first and foremost, I think he's flustered. He's not quite sure what's happening back there.
Okay.
Right. But then when you look at from the tight copy, you can see that the linebacker's a little closer than what he appears now. And what happens a lot of times, the game is played by feel at this level.
Okay.
He can feel that backer bearing down on the tight end. Same thing here in the cornerback. We're a little off. By the time he pulls it down and decides to run, you could feel Benford closer to the wide receiver than what it appears. So you could feel the weight shift forward. I mean, this is how detailed it is. You could see that, and when he sees that, for sure, the ball will get batted down or maybe even intercepted here by the linebacker. And then Benford, because they're throwing from the opposite hash, this is a very long throw to try to make.
Okay.
And I don't know Trevor Lawrence to have a rocket arm.
No, he doesn't.
Right? So for him, like, he would like to have a lot more space between Benford and the wide receiver before he would try to make that long throw across the field.
Got you.
But these are, again, situations that the defense that was called brings. All it takes is a split second of hesitation.
Right.
And either you throwing an interception, you making a bad throw, or in this case, you saying, you know what, forget it. I'm tucking it, and I'm going to try to run instead of turning the ball over.
Okay. And really quick, just to be clear, when you say long throw, you mean because it's going across the quarterback's body, or?
Well, more so that.
Okay.
Oh, again, it's he has to throw over his left shoulder, but more so the yardage between the opposite hash and outside the numbers.
Okay, so it might have been
a long throw,
an easier throw if they were on the other hash, basically.
If he was on this what would be the left hash, and making the throw to number 7, then that's a much shorter throw, quicker throw. Doesn't need as much time to get the ball there. So, right. But yeah, that's a big time throw. Again, we take that for granted because you got Josh back there slinging that thing.
Exactly.
Like, but that's a difficult throw to make when you're in this situation.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, one of the other, and we'll get to the second play in a second, but one of the things that really stuck out to me watching some of this video is it almost seemed like Trevor Lawrence was seeing ghosts. And Keyshawn talked a little bit about this in the podcast on Tuesday. There was a play later on in the game, I think the second half of the game, where Trevor Lawrence just kind of spun out of what he thought was an oncoming defender, and there was really nobody there.
Right.
So can you just talk about what that does when you start off a game as a quarterback, or just come from a receiver's perspective, when you see your quarterback like that, under that kind of pressure, and then all of a sudden your quarterback is seeing ghosts. Like, what are some things that you can do as a receiver, or is it just like a hopeless situation?
Well, a lot of times as a receiver, you have to process the same thing the quarterback is processing, but pretty much on your side of the field, right? He has to see the whole field. And if you have an opportunity, let me give it like the great ones, like I'll give you an example. When I was in Miami with the Dolphins, Irvin Fryer was the senior wide receiver. Like, Irvin had a mind of a quarterback. Like, he understood and he knew how to process the entirety of what the secondary was doing. So when you have the ability like that as a wide receiver, now you can communicate with the quarterback. You can go back and you can try to assist him or help him. But again, that goes to the point to why the quarterback position is the toughest position to play in sport, because of everything that has to be processed in 2 seconds, right? You have to be able to, the great ones, they're ahead of the play. They're ahead of what's happening, and they anticipate certain things, and they make throws that the average, i.e., Trevor Lawrence can't make, right? That first play, I mean, we can categorize that as really a rushed bad decision, and this second one is even worse.
Okay. 2 things really quick. First thing is Irving Fryer, right? Because you just be throwing around players' names like we know who that is. You tell me you mentioned Irving. You're talking about Irving Fryer, right?
Irving Fryer.
Okay. And
what did I say, Irving? I said
you just said Irving. Everybody's just like, oh yeah, Irving, right? Okay.
Right.
And then the second thing was, I don't remember what it is. All right. Anyway, Thomas Staples, welcome to the session, my man. He says, always enjoy these sessions. Thank you very much. Columbus Bully says Trevor saw a ghost. He sure did.
Well, and that's the goal, is to get the quarterback to think he's seeing something he's not really seeing. He thought he saw cover 3, basic cover 3 coverage, deep third. Okay, I'll get the ball in the seam to the seam route, to the skinny post. Well, when he see Taylor Rapp come down to the middle, he see the corner go black and play the safety spot. He see Hamlin go out to, he's like, what? Back, I'm just gonna run it. No, that's what happened. He's like, oh man, I ain't trying to figure this out.
Right.
And he tucks the ball and he starts to run. Yeah. It wasn't a reason for him to run. There wasn't no pressure.
Yeah.
That speaks to him just being frustrated. Hey, I can try to get the 3 yards with my legs, and it didn't work.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go to the second play now.
Yeah.
Columbus Bully says he had happy feet all in the pocket all night. Yeah, he did. We were talking a little bit about the Bills' pass rush. And this second play that we're going to get into, when I sent it to you, my question was, why did he go for the running back when it seemed like there was good coverage there, and it looked as though there were other receivers that were open, right? You got the play pulled up?
Yeah, play pulled up.
All right, so let's get into that. What are your thoughts on this play?
Well, let's look pre-snap. So you got your pre-snap read here, and again, it's a 3-by-2 look. 3 receivers to the right side of the field, and it looks the Bills are showing a hard cover 2 look here.
Okay.
And the reason I say it's a hard cover 2 because you got the cornerback like within the yard of the line of scrimmage. You got this cornerback. Which one is this? Is that's
I'm pretty sure that's Benford over there.
Is that Benford over there? Or is that Benford at the bottom? I think that's Benford at the bottom.
Okay.
So that it would be
Douglas.
Douglas at the top.
Yeah.
So you got Douglas, both of them within 2-3 yards of the line of scrimmage. They got the 2 safeties like on the hash. So they're showing you what we would call a hard cover 2 look, right?
Okay.
They're shifted to the strong side, the offensive strong side, with Cam Lewis right here over the 3 receiver side. So again, he's looking at what he thinks is a cover 2 look, right? And what happens here again is very exotic. They're going to go to what they call a man zone look. They're going to man to the strong side. They're going to zone coverage to the strong side, and then they're going to man coverage to the backside. And Trevor actually made the right choice.
Right.
In picking a receiver, he just made the wrong type of throw.
Okay.
Which in this case, when you're getting paid the kind of money he's getting paid, you can't make the wrong type of throw in this situation.
Right.
Like these are game-changing plays. So what we'll see here is you're going to see the safeties roll to the strong side. You're going to see the backer and the cornerback lock on man-to-man.
Oh, wow.
You'll see here safeties rolling. See the safeties roll hard now.
Oh,
so now he's looking at so again he's making the right read. Here's another thing. He's not really surveying the whole field.
Okay.
Like it looked like he just picked a guy when he saw the matchup, which is the right matchup.
Yeah.
He just picks a guy and he's ready to throw, which is it works sometimes it doesn't.
Is that a common misconception amongst quarterbacks in general in the NFL? Is that they all go through all of their read, or the good ones go through all of their reads? Or because I think you mentioned and this is one of the things that I forgot to ask you about. You mentioned that the quarterbacks are ahead of the play, right? What does that mean that they kind of have an idea of where they're going to go after the ball snaps?
Right. So that means they recognize what the defense is showing them, and then they also anticipate where they could end up based off of the route that they have. And when I'm thinking route, I'm thinking all the combinations of all 4, however many receivers you got active that are live. And when you're ahead, the good ones are able to anticipate what they see the defense showing them based upon the route that they have called on that particular play. And when you don't anticipate, now you're behind.
Okay.
And when you're behind is when you have turnovers and bad throws, and you either get holding the ball, you end up getting sacked. So that's the goal for the defensive coordinator. It's just to get you to hesitate. If I can buy my D-line just a little more time to get there, that's all it takes. But in this case, it looked as if Trevor Lawrence, he identified the coverage right away, or he just didn't. And he picked the right guy.
It's like, screw it, I got one-on-one over here.
And he picked the right guy. And so what we'll see here, the reason he's ready to throw right now. He's made his mind up right now to throw the ball to Travis Etienne, right?
Okay.
But the rule is on a go route, if the guy is on top, as the linebacker is here on Etienne, you throw back shoulder. It's simple. It's simple. And I'm speaking to the quality of the quarterback play here. It's really that simple.
Right.
Now, whether or not he's trying to, at this point, I don't know what the score is in the game, but I don't know if he's trying to make a play, if he's trying to score a touchdown. But at this point, the rule is if the defender's on top of the go route, you throw it back shoulder.
I think
Simple.
it's 13-0 at this point. Bills had 2 touchdowns at this point, and I think this is where the Jaguars get the field goal.
Yeah, and he might be in panic mode. He might be, I want to score a touchdown.
Yep.
But you got to play by the rules and the leverage that's being shown here, right? Make the throw. He's cocking to throw the ball now. Throw it back shoulder. Should be an easy completion. Because the Bills basically took away, when they rolled the coverage and they went man backside, they basically took away the 3 receivers. And then they locked up here, man to man. And this is the right throw. Again, he's still on top. The ball is out of his hands. He's still on top.
Right. Yeah, and Dorian Williams has got his head turned away from the play the whole time.
Don't see the ball at all.
Yeah.
That's why the rule is back shoulder throw. If the defender's on top, back shoulder throw. Defender's on top, back shoulder throw. Defender's on top, back shoulder throw. Simple, right?
Very simple. Yeah, it should be.
That's why we need to learn to appreciate the quarterback that the Bills have, right? This is a back shoulder throw by Josh all day long.
Yeah.
This back shoulder throw. But he decides to throw over the top, ends up throwing the ball out of bounds. Like out of bounds. Again, we see the tight copy. Basically, he's calling out the mic, and he sees, boom, makes the right read, just back shoulder to throw. No pressure, clean pocket.
Right, that was the thing I noticed. Like he wasn't rushed.
Right, clean. I mean, he could feel 40 coming from the backside. He could feel that.
Seeing ghosts.
But nothing here.
Yeah,
nothing to really hurry to throw. Again, he's probably thinking Travis versus a linebacker, he's probably going to run past him. But the rule is when you get ready to throw the ball, if the defense is on top, back shoulder throw. And he doesn't do that, doesn't make the throw, and you see the ball going out of bounds. Travis, he ain't paying no attention, right?
Yeah.
So that is the intricacies that go into playing the quarterback position. And let's not take for granted how big of an ask that is for the secondary to make those plays and move at the snap of the ball. Yeah. And Cam Lewis turning his back completely to the offense and then turning around and locating and finding out where receivers are. Yeah. Like that's NFL. That's good stuff, right? Yeah. Like to be able to do that for the safety to play corner, for the corner to play safety. They've shown the defensive coordinator that they can make that happen. So I mean, to look at that play and see that, I was really impressed by both the defensive coordinator and his think outside the box mentality, coupled with the players that are able to get in a position that causes confusion, which ends up in a punt situation.
Yeah. I love the exotic shifts that we saw. I mean, it happened all night. Really, it seemed like they really toyed with Trevor Lawrence's mind, and that's what got his feet happy, as you say, Bully. And you know, to me, I think this is something that I've never seen the Bills do to this degree. Yeah, you know what I mean. Since Sean has been here, it's always kind of been just straight up. You know, you're not going to get us out of nickel, and we'll let you run, but once you get to the red zone, then we want you to kick a field goal or you know not get any points at all. But let me ask you this. Is this style of defense sustainable all year long, where you're just constantly interchanging players to different positions on the field? You know.
Well, I would say the scheme is sustainable. Okay. But you got to have the personnel, right? And I would say yes, because you're doing this with backups.
Right.
You're doing this with backups. Yeah. A couple of them will probably be permanent. Because the initial linebacker, the one Milano's not coming back. Yeah. So how soon will we get?
Well, they haven't put Bernard on IR yet, so the thought is he should be back in less than 4 weeks.
Right. So so they're going to have to play with this group for a while. Yeah. And so I think it's sustainable, because if they're doing it now, I don't see nothing different now. The challenge is going to be when you come up against a more savvy quarterback who doesn't get happy feet in these situations. And once you put something on tape, everybody sees it.
Yep.
So the anticipation and the expectation of something like this happening, right, that'll better prepare quarterbacks. Hey, Hamlin could drop he could play corner, and Benford could play safety. Right. So they're anticipating that. And when you got quarterbacks who are better prepared, then they're less less likely to have like happy feet or panic or just pull the ball down like Trevor Lawrence did. And most like when I say simple, that back shoulder throw, like I would guess 99% of quarterbacks makes that back shoulder throw. Right. For whatever reason, Trevor Lawrence decided not to do it.
Right. I got one comment and then I got one question, and then we'll get out of here. Columbus Bully says our coordinators are young, aggressive, and they're playing chess while the opponents are playing checkers.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, they were a step ahead. It seemed as if they were a step ahead of the coordinator and the quarterback in this particular game. It just seemed like they just were flustered and they just didn't know. And the other aspect to that too is the receivers, right? All you're trying to do is slow the receivers down just a little bit.
Right.
If I'm coming off the ball, and I remember my rookie year, and I'm coming off the ball, and I'm trying to see what safeties are doing, and I'm trying to see what linebackers are doing, and Bernie Kosar threw me the ball, and he's like, D, you got to get out of the break quick. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to read what's happening. It happens so fast, and if I can get the receivers to slow down, not throw off their timing. If I don't know where this guy, I know where he's lined up now, but I don't know where he might end up.
Yeah.
Like, if that can slow you down a little bit, then that gives the defense the advantage.
Okay. My question is, oh my gosh, I got to remember it now. I was so into what you were saying. Oh my gosh, what was I going to say?
You were talking about sustainability.
Sustainability.
We talked about that.
Right, and then we went to that. It has something to do with the outlook on the season.
Yeah. Well, just thinking of that alone, I know everybody's excited about the 3-0 start.
Okay.
Right? And I think when it's all said and done, we'll see that the three teams that the Bills have beaten will probably be at the bottom.
Yeah. At
the bottom of the standings when it's all said and done. So, you've seen some good things from the Bills. What I don't think is sustainable is how many pass attempts did Josh Allen have last game?
I want to say 20.
I thought it was a little less than that. 20 is not bad.
It might have been like 17.
Yeah, I thought it was like 17. Yeah, I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that's
really?
No, I don't think that's sustainable. I think he's going to have to.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Come on, before you forget. Come on.
Listen, we both like that. Don't act like it's just me.
Yeah. That's why I get it out. I know. That's why I'm saying, come on, for that thing, slip away.
Okay. So one of the things that we saw in the second half of the game was it kind of looked as though the team pulled back a little bit. They weren't in attack mode as much, right? Yeah. If they got a touchdown, it was because they just naturally went through their progression of calling the plays and right. Doing the plays. But there wasn't as much of an attack mode as what we saw in the first half, where they're going for it on fourth down and Josh is running around making plays and stuff like that. So I wanted to ask you, you've talked to me before about coaches' culture and players' culture, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. How much do players care about records and stats and stuff like that in those types of games where they're just whooping off? Like Josh had a real opportunity to get 8 touchdowns in that game naturally, not even trying hard to do it.
Yeah. When you talk about setting records, NFL players want it to happen within the construct of the game. Yeah. They don't want it to be, well, we're blowing them out and we just got a token touchdown.
Got you. Okay.
Like remember who was that? Brett Favre, when he gave Reggie White the sack record, and he kind of went over there and fell down.
Oh wow.
Was it Reggie White? I think it was Reggie White.
When he gave him the sack weren't record. On the same team at that point?
No, I'm thinking Reggie was with Philadelphia at that point.
Okay.
I think if that, but I don't think it was Reggie White, but he did. That's not how they wanted.
Okay.
They wanted to happen in the run of play.
Like how Strahan got it.
Yeah. They wanted to happen so a player like Josh, they'd rather be out of the game.
Gotcha.
Relaxed. Okay. Low risk, no injury, right? They'd rather be out of the game than in the game trying to set a record that's really out of hand. Right. And on the other side of that, you want to give other guys an opportunity, like those guys that practice every week. Like that's how the pros think. Like here, let him get an opportunity, because like these guys are practicing every day. They're doing practice squad stuff. The least you can let them do is go out there and make a few plays in real game time action. So the mindset is more of, hey man, get us out of here. Let's go sit down. Let us recuperate, because you 3 weeks into this thing now. And your body's starting to go through a process, and you want to get as much rest and start the recovery process this was a Monday night game. Yeah. So you're down a day. Yep. Right. So you want to get guys on the sideline, sitting down, recuperating, and starting that process as soon as they possibly can.
Does that make a difference day wise? Yeah, they lose Monday, right? But it's Sunday night. It's a Sunday night. Is that big of a difference?
The game is Sunday night?
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose a day. that day makes a difference because that what would that be? 24 hours.
Essentially, yeah.
Essentially 24
I mean,
hours.
they usually get that Monday off, right? Victory Monday.
Sometime I don't know. They may come. They may not come in and do as much, but they still come in and watch film.
Okay, got you. Okay.
But they'll be off.
So
on
Victory
Tuesday.
Monday ain't go home and chill on the couch.
No, Victory Monday don't mean stay home. No, you coming in, you getting treatment, you got to work, you got your workouts, you watching film. So Victory Monday might be we're not out on the field. Going through practice, but no, they coming in. Everybody's coming in, getting your workout in, going through your rehab, getting all your treatment, your rehab in, watching films, watching that film. So like, it's not off day for sure, right? Okay. So Tuesday's the official off day where you can stay home if you like, but again, most guys still come in on Tuesday, and get their film in, get their workout in, get the treatment in, get the stretching in, get the the tended to them, because now they got masseuse, they got massage therapy, they got everything at the facility. Right. They just got nutritionists, so they like they come to eat, they get all of that at the facility. So, but yeah, that Victory Monday, it's not a complete off day.
Okay. All right. Those are all the questions I had. This was great. Yeah. I enjoyed doing this, and of course, we did this live for 30 minutes
for the first time. Yeah,
for the first time.
It go fast.
Right. It went really fast. All right. So let us know if you enjoyed this. Okay. I personally enjoy doing it live. We get the comments and stuff like that. It kind of it keeps the flow of the show. So I kind of like doing it this way. But let us know what you think. Right. On top of that, let us know if there's anything else you want us to add to this process of reviewing the film. Is there any particular, things that you want us to point out within the game or, stuff like that? It always helps us to give you more of what you want, right?
Are they able to let you know what particular plays they want to examine? Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to, let me see here. Okay. Oh, okay. So Columbus Bully said Brett fell down for Strahan.
Oh, that was Strahan he fell for?
Okay. All right. Well, that sucks because I totally said it was Strahan. They got the record straight up.
Right. I couldn't remember who the player was.
Yeah.
But
so it might have been Reggie.
Yeah. They don't want it like that. Yeah. They wanted him to run the play. They wanted where you trying to block me. I mean, he'll take it, but that's not how they really want it.
Right. Okay. So do this. Our social media links are going to be in the description. You can go to any one of those, direct message us, and tell us what you want to see. You can also you should be able to get into the community section of our YouTube channel and just post in there. If you want to comment on one of the other posts that we put there, if you want to, actually, I don't think other people can post stuff on our community section, but you can comment on one of the posts there and let us know what you want to see. I'm not giving you my phone number, so this is all you have. Right? So anyway, thank everybody for tuning in. And Pop, thank you once again for coming in and sharing this time with us. Listen, this has been Coach D's Corner, part of the Post Podium Podcast video series. We out.